Welcome. Happy Monday. May this wonderful week be such a powerful inspiration and also a powerful week to really tune in more into you. And also having compassion. You know, at times you might forget to have compassion for yourself, and that's okay. That's okay. But then going back into, I can do this. I can actually, go back into the remembrance of having compassion for myself. There's so many things that happen in a human system, you guys. And we forget that sometimes being a human is not such a simple thing. We don't come with like a booklet with instructions of like how nice would that be actually to be like, okay, today I feel like this. Like, let me look at this book and see like how I can maneuver through these spaces. But we might not really have a physical book about it. However, you have you. And there was something so powerful that my teacher said this morning during asana practice, that the answer that you're seeking is already within yourself, and that is like a big access point is definitely through the heart. And the more that you continue to accessing and deeper aspects of the intelligence of the heart, there are more things that you'll have to face. And of course, we know this going into the spaces. We know that we will have to face some things, but now is the choice of like how we choose to see them and react to them, right? Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. How do you choose to either be reactive with yourself or be reactive towards others? Or not really taking care of yourself and not honoring their space that you're in, So there was something so powerful that I was feeling today prior to coming to the live video. The intelligence of the heart, which we also talked about this last week during the last live video. So feel free to check out that aspect of it, the intelligence of the heart. But here comes like a really big point into it. The intelligence of the heart is always there for you to access, for sure. And it does require at times to swim through like very dirty waters and to, in a way, go against the current, even though you're not going against the current. It might feel that you're going against the current. And then there's always that choice, There's always a choice of like, do I keep going? Do I keep going? The choice is always you. You have a free will, You really do. And like, if you set up in this lifetime anyway, if you have set up the idea and also the intention, because remember, intentions are your access points, to really get deep into the intelligence of the heart, to get to know yourself more, or I like to say and more the remembrance of who you are, because it's always been there, rather than actually like, tuning into something that has never been there. So you as a whole, as like the divine being that you are, the multidimensional being, everything else that you want to throw into it, it's always been alive. And it's always been there within the intelligence, not only of the heart space, but the intelligence of your being as a whole, because the heart is just an aspect of yourself, And so like really like going into those spaces requires a lot of self-compassion and a lot of strength, knowing, because there will be two aspects. There's many more that can come through, but at this moment what is coming through right now is like there will be two aspects that will lead you into different directions in your journey as you continue to dive inwards, as you continue to seek the answers from inside of you. And those aspects is like, keep going or no. It's like literally the fear that you might actually stop the journey in a way, if we want to call it stop, because it's still part of the learning and, as Rom's saying, the unlearning process, or the love. It doesn't mean that when you choose the route of love, you will not feel fear, okay? What it means is that when fear will show up, you will still choose love, love over fear. And you will not let the fear and the stories of the collective that you might be feeling at any moment in time, which we actually do a lot, whether you're aware of that or not, or the fear that has been swimming through different aspects of yourself and your ancestors, your lineage. And it's literally about looking at that space when it comes in, when literally the fear comes like swimming so fast towards you through this cord that there is between or among you and every single being that is part of your lineage. And it honestly goes super deep into our own story, but like when that comes in, you choose to actually give it the space to love it. The space to love it, because here, rather than going again, like as humans, we tend to be very good at this, but rather than just being like this towards the fear, you embrace the fear, you hug it. I literally always tell this to my clients and my students, like, think about something, an aspect of you as your inner child always. And an aspect of life as an inner child, because that can really help you to see that and have a different perspective. So in this case, hello darling, in this case, fear is an aspect also of your inner child that is coming through. And here, rather than just like putting a block in here or like pushing it out, you begin to embrace it and love it, knowing that through that you'll be able to go back into the neutral road, if we can call it that, to go deeper into the essence of yourself that is part, again, the intelligence of the heart, but the intelligence of your being as a whole, which then through that you access the portal of creation itself, and the portal through which you communicate with your ancestors. That you literally sit in a circle with your ancestors and you listen to all the guidance and all their teachings, and you're just there. Because even if somebody's not here physically, that doesn't mean that they don't exist anymore. Energy doesn't die. So energy is just moving around and exchanging, moving forms in a way. But the pure essence of the teachings and the wisdom that runs through you, that again has always been there. It's always been there. The wisdom that comes, of course, from the land that you were born, or the land that you really tune into, but also the wisdom of every single wise women and men that were part of your lineage, even if it was eons ago, is inside of you. And again, the access point of that, and one of them actually, is when the fear comes in, you just see through it. It's something that's very similar as when, for example, your partner or your best friend is just really talking out of that wounded space, right? And when you're holding space, you're looking at this person and you're not saying, I'm hoping you're not saying these kinds of things, but you're looking at them, but you see through that fear and you see through that anger, because the fear is not the person itself. The divine aspect of the person is always same. It never changes. Like the same thing with you. When you're going through a very, very big process and there's so much fear coming out, and maybe your wounded part is talking and is speaking through you, you also know that's not really you in a way. It's not really the deep aspect of the self, but the wounded part coming through. So you never really change. And so knowing this right here, right? It's like this, very similar. You can see it's very similar when the fear comes in, because the fear comes in because you're ready to alchemize that part, that aspect of yourself, that aspect that has been in your lineage for a really long time, and you're ready. You've been calling forth for this kind of like shift, for this awakening, for this elevation. And so it's your own intelligence, the one that sent the signals and said, come on, fear, I welcome you. I welcome you, because we're ready, we're ready to have this talk. Can we have this talk? And it's about having this talk, not about like the fighting, and listening. in listening. Most of the time when a fear comes out and it's really like there's this wounded aspect of yourself talking, when you give it permission to talk or you give it the space to talk, it will talk to you in many ways, you know? With practice, I really do believe that we all can listen to that aspect of ourselves, but you might be able just to feel it at the moment. And you feel it and you'll be like, okay, you know, okay. You're given space to a part of you that is ready to be alchemized, which is literally wrapped around this really like, whoa, that is fear. And so like here, you have again, you know, your free will, of course. But now knowing that it was the intelligence of your being with that longing to really experience itself deeper and deeper and deeper as it continues to just tune in more into the intelligence and the divine love of itself, knowing that this part of yourself, what's the one that said like, we are ready, and open up the doors to the fear, open up the door to this trauma to rise up. Because you, as the personal consciousness that is having this experience right now, is ready to see this trauma by a word that is not defined as trauma. That you are ready to see this as a gift, no longer defining this as a traumatic event, but seeing this as like, wow, this is a gift that I'm giving to myself. Because I no longer need to keep that inside of me and continue to commit like self-sabotage and like harming myself and all these kinds of things. Like you're ready to do that, and you know. And again, the reason that you know that this is happening is because it's actually happening. It's because you, as a pure consciousness, knows what is best for you. And so it's not like, you know, the pure consciousness of yourself, that it's not really defined by a physical body or by emotion or by an experience. Like it's really like looking out for you and saying like, okay, cool, we're super ready to like devote ourselves to something deeper than what we have been experiencing. So it's like looking at the map of your entire being and saying like, okay, this right here is out of alignment. And this right here is not, it can be like stronger a little bit more. So how do I move this around as my own puzzle, the puzzle of your being, to like be able to move the energy around? So then this comes out to the surface, and then we can alchemize it. We can look it into the eyes and not be fearful of it anymore, because it's us. It's us. So then, you know, there is no more that traumatic thing like, I can't even look at it. It's like horrible. You look at it and you see it as a divine gift that you're given to yourself. Because again, it's not that you go through life like wanting to harm yourself. Again, the deep love that runs through you, that gives life to everything in life, really, like knows what is best for you. So that intelligence is always running. It's always running. It's always pumping. And it's letting you know, hey, you've been preparing all this long, all this time, maybe all these years, or maybe just this month, You've been preparing for this moment right now. Your strength, your discipline, and your love, and your compassion, and all of that. You've been preparing for this event, for this awakening. So now here it is. This is the test. See? This is the test that you are given to yourself. Nobody else is given it. This is a test for yourself. So now what do you choose to do? Knowing that this is literally what is happening in the energetics. Knowing that you're giving yourself that chance of like no longer running in this programming and this cycle that has been perhaps even coming from who knows how long. Knowing that it's you, the one that is breaking the cycle. And it's in your power to do so, and you're prepared to do so. And you're supported by everything in life, yourself included. First and foremost, most important, like yourself included. It's guiding you. You have been guiding yourself all along. And so that's the test, That's the leap of faith that happens over and over and over again. The leap of faith on you, believing in yourself, believing that you have the strength, believing that and knowing, having that sensation within yourself that Life is happening for you, and you are the architect of your life, designing and co-creating this life with yourself, with yourself. And so here it is, the moment of truth, when you're facing that trauma, and you no longer see that as a trauma, but you see it as like, thank you. Thank you. Because now I know we're ready. Now I know I am ready. I no longer need to carry that. And who knows, maybe you've been carrying that for so long, maybe not. But that is such a beautiful test of self-love, of devotion to yourself and your journey. And to see your strength, And of course, this does not take away from the fact that things will arise, You might actually feel the fear really intensely. But again, going back into so many weeks ago when I said, like, you might have fear, but fear doesn't have you. You are not the fear. So in that moment, when you're looking straight into that part of you, you can show compassion for yourself. And just see, Because many times, like, the memory will rise up, and you will remember, and you will relive it in seconds. And here, all you have to do, or all you can do really, is to have compassion for that part of you that went through that. Also for the part of you that is re-experiencing that. And giving yourself the love that you desire at the moment in time. This is when the inner child work comes in. When you have been learning how to hold space for you. How to hold space for you in those moments of intensity. See it as as something that is not you, because that really helps. That it's just your best friend talking, So you're not attached in a way to the experience itself, but you're witnessing it. And you're witnessing that part that is just saying, help me. Help me. Because a part of you in the fear, who knows how long it's been on that loop. And there you are in your strength, seeing that part of you. And with all the courage that you already have, you can bring forth the love and self-compassion and the hug that part of you desires, that part of you needs in order to alchemize it, in order to integrate that part of you. And when that happens, is unity that happens, there's no more that separation. So the fear and this traumatic event is no longer a fear, is no longer the enemy, but is your ally. And you become one. And when that happens, there's more activations or reactivations, more remembrance in the heart. Your own puzzle, the parts that were out of alignment, the parts that were kind of stuck, goes back into like centeredness. Over and over and over again, It's a puzzle that never really stops growing. You never stop creating this puzzle. But you're able to see that, You're able to take yourself out of the picture, if you will, and look at all aspects of it and be like, this doesn't feel right for me. It's all about looking at your life within your being, using the eyes, the physical eyes, to see what doesn't really resonate with you. The more that you honor that, is the more that everything in you realigns. The puzzle is no longer stuck. It's a continuous moving puzzle that continues to do its thing. The dance within your being, the dance of you, the dance of creation itself. The more the puzzle moves, the more that the dance of life is happening within you, the more that is able to come through the energies to be materialized here in this physical plane. The more that you shine, the more that you feel so comfortable on your skin, the more that you are being you. And the more that you're radiating that light everywhere. The people might just look at you and be like, what? Hello, tell me, what's going on? They see the difference. Because it's no longer the traumas or the fear or all this anger coming through and living your life through you. It's you living your life. The freedom of being you. The freedom of being you. So don't give up before that freedom, because that freedom is there. It has always been there. Always have been there. Regardless of what we see in TV, regardless of what you hear around, the freedom is always there. And it's your choice to really go back into that remembrance of that you're free. And you do that consciously by loving yourself and loving every single aspect that comes at you. Because it's you. Because it's you. So now the remembrance, that you're constantly giving gifts to yourself. If you think about, the Divine Mother, right? Let's think about Mother Earth. Just see how much she gives us. When you plant one tiny seed, and from that seed becomes such a massive tree with so many fruits, and it's constantly given, constantly given. And not just through fruits and flowers and things like that. There's her own energy radiating through us, through our feet, through our life. She's constantly given. She's a representation of you. You're constantly given it to yourself. But now it's time to pay attention. Where is this giving coming from? Is this giving coming from that aspect, the wounded aspect, that just does not believe that it's good enough, that does not believe that it can stop the cycle, that it doesn't believe that it can receive love? Or is coming from that loving aspect of itself that it's completely aware of so many traumatic events or so many cycles, but it doesn't punish itself? It just literally looks at itself and says, I love you. I love you and I accept you as you are, And in that love, you can work through anything out, anything. Because there's no resentment, there's no guilt, there's no punishment. It just sees through. You see through yourself. And you see the power within yourself. And you see the love that runs through you. The love that runs through you. That is everything. Knowing that you are everything. Through that knowing, you can experience so much more. And again, you're operating from a higher elevation, if you will. To truly honor yourself and everybody else that is in your journey. Everybody else that is helping you co-create this experience. But again, it's your choice. If you choose to accept, the teachings of seeing something that arises as a gift. And again, with this, I'm not taking away anything about your experience whatsoever. There's many things that do happen to us that are pretty shitty. There are a lot of things that happen to us that really, really deeply hurt. And in a way that got engraved, within our being, like a saying, a mantra, if you will, that continuously runs the show to harm you. We're not taking away anything of that, Things do suck at times. But then you have the higher awareness that that is not really serving you very well because you continue to harm yourself. And then you have the option to see that again as a gift and feel those emotions and know the feeling the emotions is part of the journey. It's normal. It's normal to feel angry. It's normal to feel anxious. It's normal to feel depressed. It's normal to feel blissful. It's just normal to have emotions. And one emotion doesn't mean that it's better than the other one. It doesn't. But as humans, we see that, It's like, oh gosh, that person is depressed. Oh my God, what can I do to help them? Oh my God, no, it's so bad. You can't be in that space. Sometimes it's necessary to be in that space. Sometimes it's necessary to honor that space as a gift, to see what's in there. Doesn't mean to be there years, That might be part of your journey. Maybe that was part of your journey. But emotions is part of the gig. It's part of the human gig. So be aware if that part of you is running the show and saying that you should not feel anger. Like if somebody's talking at you badly and you don't feel anger, I mean, there's something in the system that is not really operating very well. Or if somebody's yelling at you and you don't feel hurt, I mean, that's a normal response. But again, it goes back into the action and your reaction. What do you choose to do about it? What do you choose to do about it? Put up boundaries, healthy boundaries in a very nice way, like, dude, that was not very nice and I'm not taking that. It's different than beginning to yell at the other person or whoever said it. So honor the space that you're in, and know that, like, you have all the resources available to be able to maneuver through that. And if you shift your perspective, as you no longer are the victim, but you're the empowered woman or the empowered man, and you can walk through that fire to go back to yourself. And that fire doesn't even burn. It's just literally there as, in a way, like a mirage, to keep the fear like pumping like this, saying like, nope, don't go that way, that's gonna suck, that's gonna hurt. It doesn't. You go back to you. And what does that look like for you? If you like had 1 week to experience that, and then maybe you will go somewhere else, how will that be like for you? And knowing that if you can imagine it, you can bring it into manifestation here. It's all about, again, your intention. It's all about your intention, the pure intention of your being in the way of expressing yourself. So, again, choice is yours, right? But I really feel that, especially as conscious beings, and we tune in and we co-create this space, because we're co-creating this space and we're receiving messages and we're channeling messages, that there's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you're listening. There's a reason why the transmission is penetrating in your being for remembrance. Because you can. Because you can, and you know that you can, and at times you just need those words of confirmations from outside of yourself. So here are the words of confirmation that is actually coming through from you to you, that you can do this, that you can do this, that you no longer need to be in the same cycle over and over and over again, that you have the strength, that you have the power, that you have the courage, that you have the love to end those cycles, and to go back into remembering who you are and what you are and where you come from, and tune in into all the gifts that are already inside of you, that come from the earth, that come from the universe, that come from your ancestors. You already have it all. You already have it all. So now is the perfect opportunity to remember, have your sticky note, that you're always gifting yourself more of you. You're always coming back to you. You always are. And again, the confirmation that even though what you're looking on the screen does not look like you, it is you. The confirmation that at this moment in time, the words that are being channeled for you to have, again, that confirmation that you can do this. Then the words that you need to hear in order to move through whatever space that you're moving through. The confirmation. Because at this moment right now, I'm not Rukmani. At this moment right now, I'm not a woman. At this moment right now, I'm the teachings that are coming through for you, especially for you listening right now. The words of confirmation and affirmation and the words of love. That you absolutely can do this. And this is why you're here. This is why you're here. And it's an honor to be in this space as a divine mirror of yourself, you to you. At this moment right now, we're not different. At this moment right now, I am you and you are me, which is literally every single moment in time. But so if what you're moving through is very intensely, I am you telling you that you can do this. That you can do this. That part of you that desires to move through whatever space that you're moving through, the part of you that is yearning for connection within yourself, the part of you that feels so much pain for whatever it is that you did to yourself and was done to you, is telling you that it's done being in the cycle and is ready to be alchemized and is ready to go back in unity with you. So you feel the unity because it's always been there. The feeling of the unity within yourself is happening right now. And this transmission is the power through which it moves right here, right now. Wow, you guys. There's so much beauty in life. There's so much beauty in life. Even in those moments, that perhaps we don't see it. But the most divine beauty is when you look at yourself in the mirror every single day. That beauty itself. You. The power that runs through life. The power that runs through everything in the universe. It's you. The remembrance that you're a gift. You're a gift to yourself. You're a gift to everybody in your family. You're a gift to the world. You are that gift that you've been searching for so long. Look at yourself in the mirror and see it and honor it. And honor it. There's no more hiding. There's no more hiding. We're literally being pushed up to let go of those limitations in the mind, the limitations in the being, to see ourselves as the pure divinity that we are, and to honor it within ourselves and honor it around us. What a gift that you are. What a gift that you are. I just want to take a moment to really honor this space. The space of you being the gift. The space of you being the gift. Like for so long, and myself included, I looked around. I was like, okay, where is this thing that I'm missing? When nothing was missing. And when I really opened up my own gifts over and over and over again, I realized that I've always been the gift. You have always been the gift. And so, let that gift shine. Receive that gift as the most beautiful being you have ever received. If you are a mother and you saw your newborn child and you felt that the words cannot even put what the emotions were you were feeling. When you first saw your first puppy or your puppy, and it was just it's the one thing that you've been waiting for. See yourself as that. The one thing that you have been waiting for is the one thing that is staring at you in the mirror every single day, is the one thing that carries you 24/7, is the one thing that is there for you, has always been there, and it always has your back, Your entire system is always working. Your energies are always moving, and it's literally there, dedicating their life for you, for that gift. And so now, it's time to receive. It's time to be yeah, I am that gift. You are that gift. And I'm receiving it. I'm receiving this gift and taking care of it as much as you can, and even more than you can imagine. Because it's so divine. It's so divine. It's so powerful. And it will create massive changes in your life when you honor it. Wow. Ooh, do you feel that shift in the heart? Oh, sister, I love you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's always yeah. Oh, Amilde, I'm so excited for you. Yes. And yeah, feel this right here, this is really a confirmation that something is happening. It's not just the words coming through, it's in the unseen, quote unquote unseen, that it's just like penetrating that remembrance in you to like bring it back to life, you know? Almost like a fire, right? And the fire at times, you know, when it's coming down, like you gotta put more wood, you know, you gotta like ignite it more so you're not cold. This is what happens when we do these transmissions. This is what happens. Just honoring what we are, what we came here to do, honoring you, honoring us, honoring each other. Because we chose to come here at this particular moment in time for a reason. And when we're looking at the history of humanity, how much destruction has happened, how many wars, you know? And now here we come in this era where there are so many teachers, so many spiritual teachers, so many guides coming through, you know? So many sisters and brothers tuning in into different light languages, their own language, the language of their being. So much consciousness, beautiful consciousness rising. You're not here by coincidence, you know? And there's a reason why, for a lot of us, we were the weird ones of the family. We're still the weird ones of the family. There's a reason for that, you know? There's a reason for that. There's many times, honestly, that I feel that I am not the daughter of my parents. But I'm like, I know you gave me this body and this beautiful life, and I'm grateful for it, and I deeply love you. But I just like, it's almost like something else, you know? And that's okay, you know? It's my story, it's the way that I see my life. And there's other times where I see like the really big parts of my human in them, and I'm like, I'm so your child. So, you know, honoring all those spaces within you, all of these different aspects are so beautiful. They're so beautiful, you know, including your inner child, you know, the inner child, the inner adolescent, the like inner like young adult and whatever it is, you know, the inner unicorn, it's like the inner fairy, whatever it is, you know. So many aspects of our, we're so complex. Goodness, we're so complex. And this is what the energies teaches us. The energies. I want to share something with you. There's this one of my teachers, which is he's the one that guides me deeper into the elements, and through many of his own teachers anyway. He talks about this, your place of empowerment, you know? Tu lugar de poder. This is what it's called in Spanish. And once you find it, it's a place where there's many teachings that come through you, for you. There's many teachings that come from the land. There's just teachings in general, like a portal of transformation, a portal of divinity, like a portal of like literally education that happens right there. There's been this place where I did my hair ceremony, that I was called to this place in the very moment that we moved to Lawrence, which was June of last year. And it calls me completely, every single moment, every single day. It says like, come, you know, I have to show you something. So yesterday I went, which I invited my boyfriend, but there was a reason why he said no, so I just went by myself. And I understood that that is my place of empowerment. And there were so many teachings that came through from nature itself, from the elements. This is also an aspect of you. This is also something so beautiful that happens. The moment that you say yes to yourself. The moment that you acknowledge you are that gift. That gift, period. And so I invite you, you know, even though, again, those fears might come up and all those traumas might come up, to take it from a different approach, a different perspective, and see where that leads you. Because you know where it leads you if you continue to do the same thing that you've been doing, right? We know. But how would it be like if you try something different? if you try a different perspective, a different approach, and then maybe you will actually see yourself as a gift. Maybe you will actually say yes. And I'm not really talking about like yes. I'm talking about like yes, yes, this is me. Yes, I'm powerful. Yes, I am that gift, because you are. See, with that kind of voice and that kind of energy, you will change it all in your life. Because then again, you're saying to the universe, fuck yeah. Literally, you're saying to the universe, yes. And the universe, a call or response mechanism, will be like, heck yes, here you go. Here you go. And everything inside of you will begin to just like, wow, what a shift. By saying yes over and over and over again, even when the fears come through and there's so much. By saying yes when somebody is like doing something harmful to you and you say stop, that's saying yes to you. When you're saying yes, yes, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and even you feel those traumatic things that come up and you still say yes, you still say yes to you, in whichever form it comes. Whether it's boundaries or no boundaries or whatever it is, you know? When you're saying yes, the doors fully open up. The doors within yourself fully open up and receive you. You receive yourself as a gift that you are. And that, goodness, there's no like spoken words to say like the massive shift that happens. But you will know. And I know that you will know. Because I also feel that you're very committed to yourself. This is why you're here. Otherwise, we wouldn't connect, you know? We wouldn't connect. The people that I have in my life and the people that come to me, you know, whether it's in forms of like students or like also friends, new friends, we are in the same level of self-discovery. Or we're in a way guiding each other. There's something, you know? There's something that says like, you, you right there, I'm gonna be your friend. Or you right there, like, I know you're my soul sister or my soul brother, you know? We're calling upon our tribe, and the tribes are responding because we're sending those signals saying that we're ready. You say yes, the yes of them become like this, a magnet, and there's no going back. I mean, you know, when you experience the pure magic of life, how would you go back into like those cycles? You just go up, you know? You just elevate more and more and more and more. Whew. Wow, the heart, wow, the heart, wow, the being, the gift, you know? These kinds of sensations are available to you 24/7, and is literally so pure, so pure, so pure. And I invite you to tune in into that, especially in those really dark moments, you know? You are your own light, so when you really go into your own shadows, you have the ability to light that up and see them, you know? Again, the gift of you. So thank you for giving us the gift of having your presence in this life. Thank you for having said yes over and over and over to you, even in the darkest moments of your life. Even when you thought that you were not saying yes to you, because it led you here to this moment in time. Thank you for being that pure divine gift that you are. I see it. I feel it. You're here, and you're powerful, and you're here for a reason. And I thank you. We all really thank you. Wow. Yes. I feel honestly that I'm just gonna lay down and vibrate. Oh my Lord, thank you, truly, thank you. That's just like the only words I can say right now is thank you. And yeah, I will see some of you later on in this week. And if there's some kind of call-in within yourself to have a call with me or something, of course we can. Of course we can. Just set up your remembrance call and we can chat. We can chat. Oh, I love you too, sweetheart. And yeah. I invite you also on the full moon next week's Wednesday, having a sound healing event online. See if this calls you out, The things that I do and I practice on myself and I teach to others, I do it for a reason. And the reason is simple. It helps me so much. See, the present tense. It helps me so much. Not only has it helped me, it still helps me to this day. And that's why I share it with so much love. Because I'm not the only one that it helps. I'm not different from you. We're not. Like inside, we're literally the same. We come from the same place, we go back to the same place. We're just having different experiences, personal experience anyways. So the link is in my bio. Feel free to send me a message if there's some kind of complication and you cannot see it. And welcome back, because you're back. So it's all about believing that. I welcome you back. We welcome you back. And it's an honor to be here with you. So much love. So much love. So much love. See you next time. Ciao.